Hey there, Michael from Podcraftr here. I want to show you just a couple of new features we have that we're releasing in Podcraftr this week. The first one is super simple, but so good. First, if I'm in my podcast screen here, I can click this new button in the top right that says New Episode. Not only does this give me my unique email address that I can send to make a new podcast of Podcraftr, but we now have the ability to just paste in a title and content into the box. So this could be blog articles, this could be any kind of content that you've already created that you want to turn into a podcast. Just paste it right in here and hit create. It'll go through the same process as if you were sending us an email. We'll make a transcript for you. You can edit it. You can change it around, but it will create a beautiful podcast for you right in the platform here. I know a lot of people have been asking for this. We're going to continue to improve upon this feature as it rolls out. And now the second one I'm even more excited to check out. I'm going to go into podcast settings for this podcast and then click on voice. And if I scroll down, you'll notice down here I have new voice settings. These will help you control the granularity of how either a stock voice or your cloned voice sounds. So let me walk you through the different sliders we have here. The first one is similarity. This one will control how closely you want the cloned voice to match the recording that was uploaded. So by default, this is set to 100 because we assume that most people are going to want their voice to sound as close as possible to what they're giving us. But you can slide this around a little bit and see where it fits for your voice. The second one is emotional range. And this is how variable you want the performance of that voice to be in any given phrase or sentence. We set this at 50% initially. And so what we typically suggest is that you try this out a little bit. If your recording you gave us has a lot of emotional range, if you go from highs to lows or fasts to slows, maybe somewhere above 50% might feel a little off. But if you go higher to like above 50%, closer to 100%, you'll get more emotional range. If you go closer to zero, you'll get more of a monotone in your emotional range. So test that one out a little bit. And last but not least, we have exaggeration. So exaggeration takes the idiosyncrasies of the recording that you've delivered, whether that's a unique accent or certain ways that you make pauses or insert ums and ers into your words, and it will exaggerate them. It will lean into your specific style of performance, sometimes into ways that you don't even want. So if you slide this all the way up to 100 and you said in your recording, you will get a lot of ums. I'm just going to tell you that. So we typically set this one at about 25% so it doesn't lean too hard into just exaggerating your natural human idiosyncrasies. But you can play with it and see what feels comfortable and what seems to make it come alive for your voice the most. All of these coming together, you can tweak them, put them wherever you want, and then enter a test phrase and click here to generate a preview. And here's mine.
Hello, this is Michael. Welcome to the new Podcraftr Features podcast.
There we go. So 2 cool new features you've got in Podcraftr now. The ability to insert your own text in platform and generate that straight to a podcast, and much more tweakability of the cloned voices and the stock voices to get it to fit exactly how you want your podcast to sound. Lots more coming up. We'll talk to you soon.